Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to do a quick training on income producing activities. Okay. Um, I know that there's times when I'm like, I need to make some money. I need to make some things happen because I have bills to pay or there's something special I want to do. Whatever the case might be. So what are income producing activities? Because oftentimes we get distracted. I know for me, I can get lost in social media. Like I can go online and before I know it, 3 hours have passed and I've gotten absolutely nothing that I wanted to get done or accomplished done. I need some water, just a second. And I'm sure that happens to a lot of you. This is what I do full time. So it's important for me to stay on task and not go down those rabbit holes. I could only imagine for people that have other full time jobs and then they come home after working all day and then have to, work their pharmacy business. Like, I'm sure that it's super easy to get distracted and it's super easy to get off task. And before you know it, it's 10 o'clock and you're like, well, I didn't do anything that I wanted to do with pharmacy. So I'm going to just put this down a little bit. I don't like all that. Okay, perfect. So I got out my Beauty Mavens Bible, and I also took some notes that I'm going to go over here with you guys. So we're just going to kind of jump in and we're going to get back to the basics. We're going to start focusing on the basics and kind of go from there, because I know a lot of you are feeling stuck. I'm feeling stuck. So let's just kind of reevaluate what we can do here. All right, so income producing activities. What are those? So income producing activities are activities that you do that are going to directly affect or support's a good word, your goals, okay, or your income goals. So everybody has something that they're hoping for in regards to a paycheck. So for some people, that pharmacy is just this is my fun money. This is what I use when my kids want to go to Urban Air, or this is grocery gas money. This is what I use to put gas in my car or just get some extra groceries. And for other people, this is their main income. That's me. This is my income. This is how I provide for my family. So it's really important that you have a good idea of what your financial goals are. Is pharmacy a vehicle that you're using once it kind of takes off, that you would like to retire from corporate America? Like what is it that you want to establish? That is the most important thing for you to really think about. And if you'll notice, most of these things like really just play into each other. I talk a lot about habits and I talk a lot about goals. And it's because those are important, because they are what's going to feed your business. It's what's going to help you be successful. So income producing activities need to be at the core of your business. This is at the core of every network marketing business. So it also needs to be at the core of yours in order for you to be successful. So in order to determine what income producing activities that you need to be doing, you need to be well established in your goals. So you should have, and I've talked to you all about goals, SMART goals. They need to be super specific. They need to be attainable. They need to be time measured. Like, there's so much that goes into writing a goal. And that's because that is your plan of how you're going to get there. Okay. So you need to use your SMART goals. They need to be all of those things. So after you've done that, after you have your established goals, you're going to use you're going to focus your income generating activities around those goals. So you need to make sure that you have a daily goal. You need to have a weekly goal. You need to have a monthly goal. And you need to have a yearly goal so that you can focus all of your income producing activities around those. Because if you have income producing activities that don't align with your financial goals, you're never going to meet. They go together, they coincide, they cohabitate. You have to have a good understanding of one to understand the other. Okay, so what are some examples of income producing activities? So it's broke down into 4 different categories for the purposes of our business. And the first one is for sales, for sponsoring, for leading your team, and then for personal growth. And once again, in that business, all 4 of these kind of coincide, but they are 4 separate different categories. So some examples for sales, that you could, of some examples of income producing activities for sales would be like when you're asking for referrals. Okay, when you have a customer, it is so important that you have their information. Like sometimes people will just be like, oh, I want that, they'll message you on Facebook. Like you might just email, they might not log in through your website. Or for me, I have a display here in my storefront, so people sometimes just come in. It's so important that you're getting their information. You want to get their email address, their phone number, their name. Obviously, that should probably be the first thing that you're asking, and any other pertinent information that you want. I personally have been thinking about starting a clientele book and like having their birth dates and stuff in there, so I can send them like birthday cards. I watch Facebook a lot, and always make sure that people that I'm trying to build like relationships with, that I on their birthdays, that I'm saying happy birthday, and that kind of thing, because that's part of building a relationship. Along with that, you want to ask them for referrals. Like ask them who they know that might be interested in something like this. Like tell them, like, it's not your responsibility to like know if they would or wouldn't, but who do you know that would be willing to talk to me for 5 minutes? Or if you fill out this tic-tac-toe board and you get three people on your board in a row sit down with me, I'm going to send you a $10 gift card because I really appreciate it. They don't even have to buy. I just really appreciate you helping me out. Or you can say, hey, can you help me with something? People are always eager to help, and more likely to say yes, that they would be willing to help you. Lead a show, virtual or in person. Do a one-on-one meeting with people. You can talk to them one-on-one. You could demo on them. I've had lots of people that are like, I don't wear a lot of makeup, and the main concern is that I can never find the right color, or I can never find the perfect match, or what would go good with my eyes. How about you just come on down and I'll let you try on a bunch of stuff and we can find the perfect match for you. You could mail out catalogs. You could leave catalogs at other businesses. You could send out samples. I sometimes do like, hey, I've got these cute little grab bags. No purchase, no nothing. It's just some samples, and I send out a catalog. I send out my information, and sometimes they come back as customers, and sometimes they don't, which is totally okay. Upsell your customers. Like if they are buying a foundation, they're also going to need a primer. They may need a powder. Like, so you just have to be willing and open to talk to your customers about that. Like that's an income producing activity, right? Because you're upping the sale, you're earning more money, earning more commission when offering more products to them. It's part of any sales industry. Like if you go to a hair salon, and you're getting your hair colored, they're going to upsell you and ask you to buy a shampoo and a conditioner. Or if they style you, they're going to show you all the products that they're using, and show you how to use it in hopes that you're going to buy it. Or if you go in for a wax for your eyebrows, they're going to ask you if you want your lip wax. That's just part of being in sales. And that's because sometimes people don't think, like, how many times have you done a home improvement project and you or your husband have had to go back to Menards because there was something that you just didn't think about? Or Lowe's, or wherever, Home Depot, wherever you go. How many times do you have to go back because there's something that you just didn't think of? Most people are like a fly by the seat type of person. They're not always necessarily thinking like, oh, I need my lip wax too. So blog posts, email newsletters, and updates. That's why I said it's important to get email addresses from your clients, because you can send out updates. Like those emails that we get from pharmacy, from corporate, with sales and stuff like that, that's important to pass down to your customers. Like, even though you may be telling them on social media, they may not be catching it. You may not be showing up on their time feeds, or on your post might not be showing up. So it's important to like email them, or you can send out a mass text, or whatever the case it is that you want to do. You could do a social media giveaway, do vendor or holiday events. Like that's going to be huge coming up here this coming up winter. Like we're going to start getting into a lot of jamborees, a lot of like holiday stuff. There's lots of things that you can do. Like you could join your chamber. I recently just joined my chamber. You can join your chamber and you can participate in like chamber activities as an independent consultant. And usually the price is a little bit cheaper for people that don't have storefronts. At least that's the case in York, and that's also the case in other towns such as Norfolk that I've lived in and been an independent contractor. Let's see. Reach out to your potential clients. Like keep a list. You have to have a list. So even if it's like just what pharmacy gives you, like going in your back office, going down your team, reach out to them, be like, hey, you know, we're having an awesome sale right now. It's 25% off. I know that you might have just ordered last month or whatever, but this type of thing doesn't come along often. I just wanted to reach out to you, let you know that the sale is going on. Is there anything that you would like to stock up on? Is there anything that you need to stock up on? Is there anything I can help you with? Did you have any questions? And you should be following up with your customers anyways after you make a sale. That's going to strengthen the relationship, and that's going to give them an opportunity to ask you anything that they had forgotten, or ask you any questions that they have in regards to the products you sold. Okay? So that's another income producing activity. So, comment on people's posts. The more you comment on people's stuff, that's going to boost your algorithm. The more you comment, the more people are going to see you. Okay? If you go through and you're scrolling Facebook and you're not commenting and you're not liking and you're not interacting, you really aren't taking advantage of your time. You're not doing any income producing activities. It's not difficult to leave 5 words on somebody's post that they posted about their kids. Like, it doesn't have to be anything in depth. That just connect with that person so that that you start showing up on their page. Okay? Sorry guys, my medicine makes my mouth really dry. Invest in advertising space or marketing. You need to, I'm going to grab a couple of examples. Hold on. Invest in your business. Get yourself a nice looking business card. I recently, these ones I just printed off because I wanted them for when I did my event, but these are Blitz cards. Okay. So these have a QR code that I invested in for myself, that when you scan this with your smartphone, it's going to link you directly to all of my social media. Super easy. I can have people scan this right away and have them follow me. And it's going to bring them to everything, including my website. This also has like why I pharmacy. So it just gives some basic information about pharmacy and what I like about it and what other people might like about it. So invest in that. Invest in a QR code. Invest in, if you've named your team, invest in team logo stuff. Like you could do koozies, you could do t-shirts, you could do whatever it is. Or you can also invest in like promoting your ads that you have. You can promote an ad on Facebook. You can promote on Instagram. You can pay to have Facebook or Instagram push that stuff out. Okay. What else could you do for marketing? You could have special thank yous made up. There's so many things that you could do with marketing. You have to find what your budget is and what works for you and what works for your demographics and your ideal customer. Okay. So we we talked about nurturing existing clients' relationships, like reaching out, telling them happy birthday, asking them how the products worked for them, ask them if they have any questions. If you know that they are absolutely in love with, I don't know why this always comes up when I'm training, like dirt bikes, and you find a really cool article on dirt bikes, share that article with them. Be like, girl, I remember last time you were in, you were telling me that you loved racing your dirt bike. Look what I just seen. They're getting a new dirt bike track. Just make people feel like that they're valued and that they're more than just a customer, right? Like really make those connections. Add people to your Facebook or social media daily. You need to forever be growing your social media. The rule of thumb is add 5, delete 5. If your Facebook or your Instagram is full of beauty influencers, it is doing you absolutely no good to put out content and only other beauty influencers are going to see it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. We need to push it out so that people that never heard of Farmacy are seeing it, so that people that would benefit from our products that aren't already involved or have an opportunity to get their products discounted are seeing it. We don't want to just push out our content to other BIs because they're not going to buy from us. That's not a smart income producing activity, right? You could do a makeup tutorial, take a selfie holding the products. Holding the products. Like, my dog farted. I'm so glad I had this fabric freshener. It's amazing. You know, just, and then a caption, right? People want to see you. So I said this before, don't use graphics if you can help it. Sometimes a graphic just gets the job done and it's just easier. But people want to see your face. People want to see how these products have changed your life. These people want to see you and why you like it. Because they're not buying because this is amazing packaging or because there's not another fabric freshener out there that smells as good as this. That's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because they like you. They trust you, they respect you, and they want to support you. Educate your audience on tools, your products, and your company, okay? Farmacy is family owned. That's not common anymore. That's a huge selling point. So educate them on your tools, educate them on your products, and educate them on your company. You need to provide some sort of value in your content. And that's a lot harder than it is. It's a lot easier said than done. It's a lot easier said than done to provide value. Okay. So for sponsoring, if you have a team, here's some things that you need to be doing with your team, because your team does generate you income. We should not be relying only on our team for our income. Like, we still have to get out there and work. We still have to do the thing. But the fact of the matter is that our team is only going to produce as much as we pour into them. So if you have a team, here are some examples of income producing activities that you can do to promote or increase that income goal, that income desire. So the first thing is do a virtual or in-person event. I try to meet with each one of my downlines on my front line. I haven't met with my second or third gen. Sometimes I do if they reach out to me, or I absolutely will if they reach out to me, but it's not something that I make it a main point. Like, if you look at let me get my goal board. If you look at my goal board, I collect data, you guys. So this is everybody on my front line, their PV, their GV, their percent. If there's any risk that they're going to fall off, I have that. I track their recruits and how many of them are active. And here I track their one-on-ones. Okay? You have to continue to build a relationship with your frontline and your downline. Okay? That absolutely has to happen at a minimum once a month. Most of the time I'm engaging or talking to my frontline more than once. even if they aren't wanting to work with me, or they aren't wanting to, they're not producing, they're not working their business, they're probably going to fall off. That's okay. At least I did everything that I could to try to support them, so that they can never come back and say, I would never follow Erin. She wouldn't do anything for me. She wouldn't even talk to me. Like, I don't ever want anybody to be able to say negative things about my leadership or my willingness to help. Okay, so post videos on YouTube. You can have a YouTube channel directly for your downlines. You can have a Facebook group where you post videos. You can go live about your opportunity. So this is if you're trying to attract more people to your team. You can go live about your opportunity, do a one-on-one meeting, host an opportunity event, email your customers, tell them the benefits of switching from a customer to a BI. You could do handwritten notes like, hey, I appreciate this. I appreciate you. Like, everybody loves a handwritten note because they don't come very often anymore. Like, ever. Even invitations to like weddings and graduations and stuff. It's either on social media or it's a computer generated. Like, send a note. Every order that I get, I write a handwritten thank you note. Or if I haven't had a customer purchase in like a couple months, I send them a card. Hey, thinking about ya. I know it's probably time for you to refill that mascara. It's supposed to be refilled every 90 days. Whatever the case might be, just write it down. Write a little hand note. Put it in the mail. If you have a customer that's online, you can go in your back office and you can find their address. And if you have people that come to you in person, you should already have that information because we gather that in the sales, right? Invest in Google Ads, find network grouping, host an opportunity event. I already said that one. Invite people to join. You will never get people to join you if you do not ask them. That has only happened to me one time, and that was Tori just recently, but she was a BI, signed up under somebody else, didn't really know them. When she fell off, she asked me, about the sale and signed up under me. Okay. Most of the time, I've never had anybody just come up to me like, please let me join you. Because eventually it's going to get to that point because attraction marketing is huge, and it's going to get to that point where people are going to be coming to you and say, what are you doing? How do I get on it? And how much does it cost? But in the beginning, that's not really the case because you haven't built those relationships yet, or you haven't built that following. But it will come. It does come, and it will come. Look at the Hernandez family. Look at Nikki Smith Minor. Look at all of the top leaders and ask them if in the beginning it was just people coming to them, or did they have to ask for what they want. Never be afraid to ask what you want. Acknowledge your success. Do not be ashamed of your success. Do not be ashamed to say, you know what? Me and my team, we sold $20,000 worth of $20,000 retail worth of product in the month of, what month was that? May. My first month. We sold over 20. No, it was 10. Whatever it is, don't be ashamed to shout yourself out. Like, last month I had over $1,500 in individual sales. Like, I made a post for myself. And after I shouted everyone else out, I shouted myself out. Because if you're not loving on yourself and if you're not loving on yourself and putting yourself out there, and it's not anybody else's job to do that it's okay for you to do that. It's not conceited. It's not cocky. It's not whatever. Okay. It's a sign of strength. It shows that you're good at what you do, and people follow people who are strong. People follow people who are strong. Okay, what else? So for leading your team, you always need to stay current on your numbers in your back office. Know where you're at, know where you want to go. Give team members goals, work with your team members to set goals, individual shout outs, team challenges. monthly incentives, individual coaching calls, group team coaching, giveaways, office hours. Make sure you have office hours. Like if you're not wanting to work 24/7, it's okay to like say I'm available. Like if you work, I'm available between 6 and 7:30. That's the time that we can schedule a one-on-one, or that's the time I would like you to reach out for me with questions, or whatever the case might be. And then do team trainings and do weekly recognitions. Like recognize your team, recognize their hard work, shout them out, say like, you know what, girl, I appreciate you. I see you out there busting your butt. It doesn't even have to be about numbers. Like for example, Pam on my team, when she first joined my team, she said to me, she's like, I am not going to be doing those lives. I will make a pre-recorded video and post it so I can edit it and all those things. I will not be doing a live. But guess what Pam's doing now? Pam's doing lives. Pam is going live and telling people about what she's doing. Okay? And I shouted her out about it. I sent her a private message and I'm like, I see you, girl. I see what you're doing. I appreciate you. Keep up the hard work. All right. So for personal growth, you have to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to grow. And growing means that there are going to be times when you are absolutely uncomfortable. Embrace it. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because success is not found in your comfort zone. On the other side of discomfort is growth. On the other side of discomfort is growth. So you need to have a personal development book. Reading. You need to read something that's going to sharpen your tools. Okay? Read a book that is going to better you, whether it has to do with the business or not. Maybe it's something that like you have a hard time setting boundaries. Read a book about boundaries. Maybe it's that you are super introverted and talking to people just absolutely makes you terrified. Read something about overcoming fears. Whatever it is that you personally would like to strengthen, find something, read it. Even if it's on the internet, read a book, listen to a, what are those things when people like read the books to you? Listen to motivational speeches on YouTube, whatever it is. Audio, thank you. Exercise. Exercise is if you go look at the most successful people, the most wealthiest people, the people that have come the most way, the farthest, one thing that they're always going to tell you that they do is they read, they they have goals, and they exercise, and they get up super early. So go out, exercise, even if it's for 5 minutes, like whatever, go exercise, go for a walk, go do whatever. Self-care, professional development. You need to hone in on the skills that are needed. So if that's just watching training videos on your team page, or looking at other top leaders in the company, or other MLMs, whatever the case might be, you need to always be working on your professional development, working on those technical skills, okay? You could do a selfie album. I call it like a self-love album. Attend company events. If there's an opportunity to go to a pharmacy event, I highly recommend that you do it. If there's a team get-together, or anything that is going to focus on training or building camaraderie, I highly encourage you to do it, okay? Build those relationships, attend those events. Know your leaders that you admire. Take the time to watch their videos. Take the time to pick their brain. Like when I was selling insurance before, like I always called my mentor, and even now I still call Anna, and I'm like, hey, can I pick your brain? Like just actually last night I said, Anna, I don't know what to do. I am stuck. Like people are leaving, people aren't producing. I personally am not where I want to be. I'm not getting the engagement on my posts. Like, what is it that I need to do? And I sat there and we talked and we picked each other's brain and we worked through it. Like that's what your upline is there for. Ultimately, it's up to me. Ultimately, it's up to me to get myself unstuck. But Find yourself a mentor, find yourself a leader, find yourself a running partner that is going to encourage you to really run your business and to help hold you accountable. Like if I were to tell Anna, like, hey, I'm going to go live on my team page today, and then I didn't go live on my team page, she's going to call me and be like, girl, what did you do today? Because you didn't go live on your team page like you said you would. Or I didn't see you post very much today. What's going on? And she doesn't say those things to be mean. She's just helping hold me accountable. Okay. Listen to lives and trainings, find inspiring podcast, and join team or company Zooms. So like when Emre is live, like if you can't be there because you have a job or, whatever prior commitments, go catch the replay. If I'm hosting a Zoom, like be there, show up, because I'm always going to show up for you. Show up, show that you want this, because I can give you all the information in the world, but until you are ready to be receptive or to receive that message that I'm giving you, it's not going to do any good. So really just focus your mindset on like being a sponge. When I first came into pharmacy, I literally was obsessed. Like I would stay up until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning watching videos. I know it sounds crazy, but I worked during the day, and then at the evening I had my kids, I had to cook, we had sports, we had all these things. So my time to really focus on growing this thing that I was so excited about was really between 8:30 and whenever I decided to go to bed. That was the only time I had to really focus on that. On pharmacy. Obviously things are a little bit different, but in the beginning I was a sponge. I literally watched everything I could find. I watched Christina's lives. I watched people on her frontline live. Every time Anna was live, I was making sure that I was on there. Even if I was at work, I just got headphones and just like listened, right? Like if I was typing away, obviously I couldn't if I was with a client, but I always tried to, or as soon as I had a minute, I would pop on and watch the replay. Okay. So these are just some examples of income producing activities that you could do. Okay. These are just examples. This isn't like you have to do all these things or else. Your income producing activities may look different than some of the examples that I gave you, which is totally okay. But a body in motion stays in motion. One at rest stays in rest. So if you're stuck, it's because you're not moving. We need to move. We need to look at these activities. We need to just keep moving, because eventually you're going to get that momentum, right? You're going to keep building it up. And then all of a sudden you're going to look back and you're going to be like, dang, I built that. I did it. I committed to my goals. Right? All right, guys. So that's all I had for you. I hope you have a beautiful day. And remember, you are more than a pretty face. Bye, guys.